ones. What's the news across the nation? We have got the information. In a way, we hope we'll amuse you. We just love to give you our views. La-da-di-da, ladies and gents, laughing looks at the news with Dick and Dan.
And now the Latin news with Muhammad Ali in a fight, Charlie Brown flying a kite, Johnny Carson late at night.
And here's Dick Martin with the present news.
Las Vegas. A group of women's lib showgirls went on strike today, picketing nude in front of the major hotels. A spokeswoman, Sally, the Incredible Smith, said we're tired of being exploited by the men, and we want to get our differences out in the open. Hey, George.
What time do you go to Vegas?
I don't know, but I wish I were there now. News of the President. Dateline, New York City. The first annual convention of Double Talkers. Double Talkers was held last night at the Waldorf Hotel. Chief Double Talker Dave Tishman shocked the membership by calling them a bunch of krells.
Krells?
Yes, and said that the meeting was going to be a Sherman and on the Prenkram front. And an angry audience rose to its feet and shouted, "Sherkran on your Mrenkrat."
The best greeting I ever heard from you.
Thank you. The only words I understood in the thing. And now here's the news with Dan of the Future.
News of the future 6 months from now. Is it only 6 months away?
Yes.
Miami Beach, August 1972. The internal squabbling came to an end today at the Democratic National Convention, when after 15 days, 373 ballots, and 295 candidates, the Democrats announced that they had finally nominated a man that they are absolutely certain could be elected president, Richard M. Nixon. He switched.
That's right. Why shouldn't the old press?
Yes. News, I don't think you should say the old press. News of the future 20 years from now, Dateline, Houston. A new organization called the... He's not too tickled with you saying goodnight, Pat. A new organization called...
He's not too tickled with saying goodnight, Pat.
Do you want to hear the future news?
I'd like to hear the future
All right, where are we again on the future news?
Go right into it.
Back in Houston 20 years from now.
All right.
A new organization called the Sensuous Men and the Sensuous Women held its first annual picnic today on the floor of the Astrodome. Wait a minute.
I like it already.
Reporters were barred from the activities and were thwarted in their efforts to find out what was going on inside, because 5 minutes after the meeting began, all the windows and the entire roof became fogged up.
We weren't the only ones that were thwarted. Good night, Pat. And now for Kid News for Kids, we take you to Moosey Dryer in a treehouse somewhere in Burbank.
Lucy here with Kid News for Kids. Today our school teacher took us to a farm. And we learned a lot of stuff. I learned 3 things. I learned where milk comes from, I learned where egg comes from, and I learned I'm not going to eat any more milk and eggs. Back to you.
Now, hopscotching the world for news, we switch you to our reporter in darkest Africa.
Hey, anybody know where the fuse box is?
Busy Buzzi here telling tattletales on Tinseltown. Scoop. Movie greats Lance and Tina Proudfoot are producing their next picture themselves. To save money, they will film in Spain. They will leave Hollywood for Spain as soon as their movie set is finished. The set, a rather large one, will be an exact reproduction of the entire town of Hollywood. Busy Buzzi is saying ta-ta and kissy-kissy.
And now we take you to our man in Borneo.
Hi, I'm here in Borneo to talk to the wild man of Borneo. Sir, why do they call you the wild man?
I guess because I'm such a silly son. I've lost a bone necklace in here somewhere.
Back to you, Daniel.
Now we visit one of the greatest names in English criminology with our man in London.
We're standing near the residence of the greatest detective in history, a man able to penetrate any problem. The world's keenest mind, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. Mr. Holmes, are you working on a case right now?
Yes, indeed I am. I have been watching that house there for 6 days, and nobody has entered. I've been trying to find out who lives there.
Why, you live there.
Aha! Oh, love that bell. Big Al here at the big house covering the big ball game between cell block B and cell block A. We're in the top half of the 6th inning, and Fingers to Lou is up at bat. And here's the pitch. And he rips one deep into the left field, and the left fielder's going back, way back, way back. He's at the wall. He's up against the wall. Oh, that stupid guard. Fingers would have caught that. Ta-ta.
One of the major airlines installed a piano bar in all of their lounges, which has brought about some changes.
Flight 104 to New York Tower requesting landing instructions, wind velocity, and do you happen to know the words to the Whip and Poof song?
To discuss what today's fashion-conscious women are wearing, here is our fashion consultant, Lily Tomlin.
Yes, the thing today is the bralette. The thing, everyone is going around without an under kind of, because except perhaps Flip Will. He's one thing he has. That's one thing he hasn't given because. Mama, for instance, Mama Cass, she had on a wonderful, fantastic pair of stretch pants. It was, they were, but more than that, she had on a pair of hot with a full slip under hot. I think that's, it gives a kind of good looking. Of course, maxi dresses are good for bold. But my own preference is the bustle.
This is the way the news is normally reported when a Washington correspondent is interviewed. Miss Hopkins, I understand you attended a recent social event for Democratic candidates and their wives. How did it go?
Well, it was great fun and very cordial. Before dinner, George McGovern ran over and slapped Teddy Kennedy on the back. Then Teddy gave Mrs. McGovern a glass of punch and a big kiss on the cheek. After dinner, Hubert Humphrey passed out cigars, and Mayor Lindsay said he was only sorry that there weren't more parties like this one. Oh, and by the way, I was delighted to find Mrs. Edmund Muskie is really a very clever woman.
Yes. And now let's hear how an unsympathetic editor would use this film to distort the story. Miss Hopkins, I understand you attended a recent social event for Democratic candidates and their wives. How did it go?
Before dinner, George McGovern ran over and slapped Teddy Kennedy.
Sounds like the Democrats are having a few problems. What happened after dinner?
Hubert Humphrey passed out. And John Lindsay said he was only sorry that there weren't more parties.
Well, there was one astonishing news item you picked up during the evening. What was it?
Edmund Muskie is really a very clever woman.
Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first.
And that's the way it is. Father's Day, 4000 BC.